Bam. Salute my peoples. We in the building. Happy Monday, fellas. What a weekend of boxing. Got some good fights. Enjoyed the action. Some updates. Some things happened that shook up the boxing community. You guys know what the weekend was about with the situation. Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney. Was it going to happen? Was it not going to happen? We finally found out. It's not going to happen. Social media is going ham on Keyshawn Davis. I understand why. I was going ham on the businessman. Um, you know, everybody's gonna have their own point of view on that situation. We definitely have to talk about it. Some people feel like Keyshawn ducked. Some people feel like he did what he had to do. But we have to talk about what we witnessed on Saturday. Real good fights. And we have a world champion who defended his title successfully in Raymond Muratalla. And another fighter who became a world champion in William Zepeda. In the case of Zepeda, he got his second opportunity and he made the best of it. My peoples. My peoples. Let's get this show on the road. Salute to everybody who's already tuning in. Yes, sir. People, my phone acting up over here. My peoples, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science nice and early in the morning, my people. We had a great weekend of boxing. We have to talk about it. We're going to start this thing off with William Zepeda, who got his second opportunity to become a world champion, and he made the best of it. Make the best of it. Look, I'm going to start this off. You guys know I make predictions all the time. If I don't hit, if my prediction is not accurate, I'll be the first to tell you. Nobody has to jump in and be like, oh, you got it wrong, you got it wrong. I'll be the first one. I had Zepeda winning the fight. I thought he was going to win. And, no. I had Lamar Roach. I told you guys Lamar Roach was going to win the fight, and Zepeda showed out. I was talking to Fannin yesterday. Salute to Fannin. Bam. Show some love. Allow me to go on his YouTube channel and rock with him for a little bit. And one thing that I pointed out to him is that William Zepeda, not only he shows what he brings to the table, but he also showed people what Shakur Stevenson brings to the table. Because you guys have to remember, Shakur made Zepeda look like a Taco Bell burrito roller. Easy work, too easy for Shakur Stevenson. Yet, look what happened to Lamar Roach. The same Lamar Roach that put all type of hands on Tank Davis, the same Lamar Roach that we was like, yo, beat the crap out of Tank. Beat him, he got robbed. Well, look what happened in this case. In this case, William Zepeda showed out. Lamar Roach couldn't hang with him. Lamar Roach was not able to hang with William Zepeda. But the first fight that we watched, and we're going to get to the Zepeda fight because we got a lot of action. We got a lot of good action in these two fights. So we're going to get to that. And you know what? Before we keep it moving, you guys know I always start the show off with giving a shout out to those who always support JF, those who always support Box Center. Salute to my guy Sai in the building every morning as usual on the rated wheel. JJ's in there, has is in the building. Two left hooks. Salute family. Marie's in the building. You guys know, without you, this show would not be what it is. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. So I want to start off with Raymond Muratalla and Robson Conceição. Wow, I mean, that was a good fight. Very entertaining fight. Early on, Robson Conceição looked like he could make something happen. Like he could give Muratalla problems. Slowly but surely, you saw Muratalla getting more active, landed more combinations, landed the cleaner shots on Conceição mouthpiece. Those uppercuts was crazy, quite brutal, if you ask me. You know, there's those who said that Conceição was gonna get knocked out, and I said it. This guy ain't never been to sleep, and he wasn't going to sleep. And, you know, it went the distance. He put up a fight, but ultimately, Muratalla's shoulders, you know, there's levels. Muratalla took a little damage here and there in this fight. It was a good fight, a good competitive fight. But ultimately, you gotta respect Muratalla. First title defense to beat Robson Conceição the way that he did. Gotta give him his credit. West does he effed up everybody's next fight. Yup. Cooked everybody's plans. West does Zepeda did his thing. I told you Zepeda, yeah, man, there's a lot of people that has Zepeda. He came through for ya. Changes and exactly, he started pulling away with the fight. In the beginning, I said, you know what, this is looking like a 50-50 fight. This is looking like one of those that it'll boil down to the championship rounds. 2 green lights, bam! In the championship rounds, we're gonna find out. But no, slowly but surely, you saw how Muratalla was breaking Conceição down, making him slow down. And throughout the whole fight, you saw Conceição never stop punching, but the punch output started to slow down. You started to see him move, using more movement, trying to defend himself a little bit more. And ultimately, Raymond Muratalla defended his title successfully. So salute to Raymond Muratalla and his team. They did what they had to do and look good out there. It was a tough fight. You got a tough opponent in front of you, but you look good in getting that W. And then, of course, my peoples. Then, of course, we got the main event. But before we get to the main event, I just got to say this. Raymond Muratalla is in a situation where he can choose to stay in the 135 division and keep defending that title, or he could go to 140. Now, I wouldn't have a problem with him staying at 135 and meeting up with Abdullah Mason. Doesn't necessarily have to be next. Could be a couple fights down the line. But it looks like Muratalla is planning on going to 140. If he does, we might end up seeing him and Shakur. 21 green light. Lamar Roach, he did not fight off his front foot. He fought off his back foot. But here's the deal, man. With a guy like William Zepeda, it's tough. Because he's going to keep going forward. He's going to keep letting the hands go. You know, that constant pressure, you either going to stand with him and bang, or you're going to have to back down. And that's what William Zepeda was able to do. Plus, even Crawford said it himself that he was not expecting. He got caught by surprise by William Zepeda. Why? Because he was not the usual fat-footed guy that's going to stand in front of you and just throw punches. You saw Zepeda using that footwork. You saw Zepeda using those angles, that lateral movement. And you know, there wasn't a lot Lamar Roach could do. He kept getting caught with hard shots right down the middle. Bang! And Lamar Roach, if you think about it, throughout the fight, he was landing some good clean shots on Zepeda, to the body, to the wig piece. The problem is that it wasn't enough. Lamar Roach would take 5, 6 shots, boom, 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 and then he land 2 real good ones, boom, boom. Then he back away and take 4 or 5 more. Boom, boom, boom. And he land 2. Boom, boom. So throughout the fight, you saw Roach landing good, clean shots. But the activity, the punch output of William Zepeda was too much. He couldn't overcome that. Back talk media. Is Lamar Roach Washington? I don't think so. I don't think he is. But here's the question, the real question that we have to ask. And I'm going to pull out my other device because I'm going to ask you guys this question and I'm going to post it too. Okay? I want to know what you guys think. And I need your opinion on this. Hold on, fellas. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you guys to tell me what you think about this. Hold on, here we go. So, fellas, you saw the fight with Lamont Roach and Tank Davis. A lot of us felt like he won that fight, right? That was a 12-round war that they were involved in. And in that fight, Roach took some nasty punishment too. Tank landed some big shots on Lamont Roach. We felt that he won that fight, right? But here's the magic question. Since Roach stepped in the ring with Tank Davis, he's fought 3 times, 2 draws, and now a loss. Is he paying the price for those 12 rounds with Tank Davis? Did that fight take a toll on Lamont Roach to the point where he won't be the same again? You have to wonder. You have to wonder, my peoples. Because we saw this guy step in the ring with Tank Davis and beat him. Who's gonna... There's nobody that could sit here and tell me he didn't beat Tank Davis. So you beat Tank Davis and you haven't got a W since. 3 fights, 2 draws, 1 loss. Did the punishment that you take in that fight take a toll? And can you be the same guy who stepped in the ring with Tank Davis once again? We haven't seen that version of Lamont Roach. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen it. The way that you was making Tank miss on the inside, bang, and making him pay, and even counter-punching his counter-punches, you wasn't able to do that successfully versus Pitbull Cruz. You wasn't able to do that in your last fight. 2 draws in a row. And now you get beat by William Zepeda, the guy that Shakur made look like a Taco Bell chalupa manufacturer. So you have to wonder, can Lamont Roach be that same guy who fought Tank Davis? Or did Tank Davis put the type of hands on him that changed him? That's just a question. I think it's a reasonable question to ask. 21 green light. All Gervonta Davis had to do was in that fight boxing and make it a boring fight. 21 left hook. No, I don't think so. Just some fighters got your number. Take it, and that's reasonable too, because there's fighters that they might not be better than you. They're not gonna beat the people that you beat. They're not gonna accomplish the things you're gonna accomplish, but they got your number. They got your number. Does he have Tank Davis' number? We need to see a rematch. And I tell you what, even with Lamont Roach losing, I still want the rematch with Tank Davis. I would still like to see that fight. Jay is that. Now for sure I say Shakur beats Tank. Shakur, man, Tank know why he don't want to get in the ring with him. Tank know damn well why he don't want to fight no Shakur. And we know why too. Marie, I think that Tank fight made him think differently. People say Tank exposed, but I think that's not the case. Maybe it was a bad night for Tank. I don't think it was a bad night for Tank, because when we watched the fight, it's not like Tank fought badly. He fought good. He just had somebody in front of him that fought better. Back talk meter. She'll go back down, win a title. Wes Dustin, Jay Smith, I once won a tournament and beat everyone like they were nothing. It was my literal peak. I think Lamont hit his peak with Tank. I don't think he will ever be that good again. Oh man, at the top, that's it. He got to his summit. Or is it something that Tank did? Was it that punishment? Because here's the thing, when we watch a fighter that we feel won the fight, oftentimes we kind of forget the damage that they received in that process. He took some nasty shots from Tank Davis too. And all I'm saying is, since then, we never seen that version of Lamont Roach. We watching Lamont Roach struggling and getting beat. Wes Dustin, I also don't think Tank is who he used to be either. Ooh. You see, we have to see Tank in the ring to really know. Because the last time he fought was with Lamar Roach, where he got his ass whooped. Let's see. Let's see. Back told me to Lamar, it's a junior lightweight. Go get the money. I believe he did well with Tank because they grew up fighting one another. You know, that was exaggerated. That was exaggerated, go get the money, because I've seen Lamar Roach in an interview say it himself. Number one, they really did not grow up together. And number two, they ain't never been friends like the way people try to put it out there. They both, you know, have trained in the same gyms. This is what Lamar Roach said. We not friends. We cordial. We see each other in the gym. Yo, what's up? We've seen each other. What's up? We've only sparred 2 or 3 times in our whole life. We never hung out together. We never chilled together. None of that. We cordial. When we see each other, we show respect. That's about it. So I remember people, you know, when the fight happened, that's something that people used to say, like, oh, Roach did that because, you know, they like best friends. They grew up together. They always work out together. Like, they try to paint an image, and Lamar Roach debunked that. He was like, nah, we cordial. We seen each other in some of the same gyms. They've only sparred 2 or 3 times in their whole life. So, and that was a very long time ago. So, the notion that, oh, well, they cool like that, nah. Now, it could be that Lamar Roach seen him around and studying his style. You know, it gave him a little bit of an edge when they stepped in the ring, because he did look like he had Tank Davis' number. Back told me that Zepeda gave him a lot of damage, man. Yo, Zepeda put all type of hands on him. But that's why I said before, when you watch Zepeda do that to Lamar Roach, it has to make you have a different level of respect for Shakur Stevenson. Zepeda looked like a nobody against Shakur. It's like there was nothing he could do with Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, he stepped in the ring with Lamar Roach, beat him up. Beat him up. Marie, Zepeda exposed Lamar's punch power. Lamar literally threw his best and hardest shots on Zepeda's chin. And it did nothing to it. Lamar needed to focus more on the body work of punches. So, here's the thing, man. Zepeda is the prototypical Mexican fighter. You keep punching them in the head, if anything, you're going to break your hand. And you're going to have brittle hands, and you're going to have trouble going forward. It's hard, bro. I'm not going to say that Lamar Roach doesn't got power because Zepeda hit his shots. Because we know, my peoples, like, you could look at historical data. Yo, it's hard to knock Mexican fighters out, bro. If it's not a guy that's washed, or maybe a real small Mexican fighter facing a big dude that's too strong, knock him out. But Mexican fighters, man, they just have that it factor that they could take that punishment, bro. It's hard. A lot of people, just look at Zepeda. If I'm not mistaken, this dude never even been down in his whole career. He never been, I'm not sure, right? But I think bro ain't never even visited the campus his whole career. And Lamar Roach is not a power puncher. That's part of the reason why people felt like Tank was going to wash him. Look, Lamar Roach, look. He got a whopping total of 10 knockouts. 10 knockouts and 25 wins. Now he got 3 draws and 2 losses. So he got 30 professional fights, and he couldn't win 5 of those. He came out with 3 draws and 2 losses. And after facing Tank Davis, Lamar Roach been in the ring 3 times and hasn't been able to get a win. Or draw. Well, no, after Tank, he fought twice, right? He fought Tank and got that draw. Then he fought Isaac Cruz and got that draw. And now William Zepeda got that L. So after Tank, he got 2 fights, a draw and a loss. No wins. 21 green light. And he kept pushing back Lamar Roach. Wes Dustin, do you think the Shakur fight improves Zepeda's ring IQ? 100%. 100%. It's kind of like when Canelo Alvarez got beat up by Floyd Mayweather, made to look like a goofball. He immediately got better. Right away, you saw Canelo moving his head more than before, moving his waist more than before, turning away from shots, moving, giving angles. You saw, Canelo develop himself because he already knew with people like this, I'm cooked. I got to get better. I got to do certain things differently. And Zepeda, he showed us. He wasn't the usual flat-footed dude who's just going to stand in front of you and throw punches and bunches. You saw the angles. You saw the movement. You saw the feints. You saw more from Zepeda. Imagine, you saw Terrence Crawford say, yo, he caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting this. TLM, the best panel, Crawford, Porter, Bradley, and Ward, without a doubt. I can hear they speak all night. Oh, man, come on. They got a legendary team over there. That team, and because of where they are, you're going to see them working big fights, great fights. They're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time tuning in. That's why I tell you, man, when I see people asking Crawford to get back in the ring, to fight again and all this stuff, I'm like, bro, you don't see that Terrence Crawford is already moved on to another stage. He's already in the second act of his professional life. That's it. He's done with boxing. He beat up the people he was going to beat up, and now he's going to be talking boxing. Now he's going to be talking about other people getting beat up and other people giving beatings like he used to. Crawford started to become more comfortable in his commentating role. He's articulating better. And you're going to see the progression. It's like I told you, if you're not used to it, when you step in front of the camera, you start talking, it's hard for you to express these thoughts that you never had in the past. Remember, in the past, you're just fighting. Your focus is what's happening inside the ring, and that's what we're talking about. Your technique, who you're beating, all that. Now, you have to get used to talking about other fighters and what other fighters are doing and your point of view on these situations. And that's a process. But you're going to see Crawford keep getting better and better and better. And he's one of the best, and they're going to be the best boxing panel. TLM. Wes Dustin, Whitney Smith on that panel. Oh, man. Man, I appreciate you, my brother, and I can't wait till I get my opportunity. I promise you. I'm not going to let y'all down, man. When I get that, I'm going to go berserk out there. TLM, this last show, he was on his A game. He kept it real. Yeah, man. It's like I told you. You're going to see Terrence Crawford every show get better and better and feel more comfortable with expressing his idea, his thoughts. And that's just the process. Jay said, now Jay Smith, you're talking about Crawford. It reminds me of Wes Dustin saying, bless his heart. Nah, listen, man. He's going to be one of the best in the game. Terrence Crawford is so competitive. If you follow him on social media, he want to beat people at everything he do. He want to be, if y'all playing cards, he want to beat your ass. If you playing dominoes, he want to beat your ass. If you playing basketball, forget about it. He want to cook you. Darts, he cooking you. Paddleball, he going to beat the crap out of you. Like, everything he do, he want to be the best. Being a commentator is no different. You're going to see him perfecting that craft and going for that. I'm the guy. TLM, none of us thought Zepeda was going to win. More credit to Zepeda for that. You got to give him his props, man. You got to give it to him. William Zepeda, was the best version of himself versus a Lamar Roach that a lot of people thought was going to beat him. That's the truth. Age is 17. If Jay Smith was on that panel, oh, man, they put me on there. You know how it'll play out. Cano Crush. Why not maximize your income and get 2 or 3 fights in when you reach the top? Who would get 3 more fights in when they reach the top? You lost me because we're talking about multiple fighters. Ronaldo. Jay, to be honest, they need you up there for real, for real. Oh, man, listen. That's one of the biggest compliments that you guys could pay me, because you know that I love the sport of boxing. You guys know that I want to be there. That's where I want to be at. So when you guys say that, I really appreciate it, because you see the value that I bring to boxing. You see what I add to the sweet science. So I appreciate you, my brother, and I'm going to keep grinding hard. Let's see who's going to open that door for me. And we're going to blow it out of the water when it happens. TLM, you know who was like that too? Michael Jordan. Crawford is Jordan-like. I've compared them. My guy. I've said that. When you look at Michael Jordan, Floyd Mayweather, Wayne Gretzky, Ken Griffey Jr., Terrence Crawford, when you look at the best, Bo Jackson, you could go to any sport. And when you look at the best, you're going to see certain qualities that these people have. For example, in the off season, while everybody was playing golf and having a good time, Michael Jordan was shooting hoop. LeBron James was shooting hoop. In the off season, when everybody was having a good time, Bo Jackson was in the gym. So that's the difference. Those athletes who perform at the highest levels that we ever seen, they don't take a lot of time off. They don't go on long vacations. They not out there partying. They not out there getting drunk, their body is their temple. Our body is our temple, and they treat it as such. And Terrence Crawford is cut from that cloth, just like those other greats in other sports. Cano Crush, Crawford, okay. But Cano Crush, that doesn't really make sense. You're saying, why not make some more money? Bro made over $100 million fighting Canelo, my guy. How much money do you feel like he needs? You see, that sounds like you just was hoping that he lose to Canelo. He didn't lose, so you want him to keep fighting until he loses. But how much money do you think that a guy needs to make when he made $100 million off of Canelo, made over 20 million or around 20 million in his previous fight at 154, made over 40 million or around 40 against Errol Spence? How much money do you really think he need, Cano Crush? Or do you just want him to keep fighting because you're hoping that he lose? You know, you from the fight Benavidez and fight Usyk and fight the guys that are bigger, fight Boots too, fight everybody, that's the best. Like, nah, that doesn't make sense, Cano Crush, because the guy retired wealthy like a motherfucker. Why would you say you retired as an undefeated fighter, #1 pound for pound in the world, fighter of the year, all of these accomplishments, and you're going to tell a guy that's almost 40 years old that he should fight 2-3 more times? That sounds like you badly want him to lose, my guy. You can't accept that he retired with that. So you're like, nah, fight more. So you can make more money. It's not about making more money, my guy. Crawford's wealthy, generational wealth. Kids are taken care of. Kids, college funds are already taken care of. Future is set. My man's is making mad money talking boxing. Endorsement deals. Investments. Properties. Bro, Crawford is generating money that he's never going to waste in his whole life. He's generating money that his grandkids are going to be enjoying, bro. His grandkids are going to be using that money. Grandkids are going to be going to school all for that money. And you're talking about he should fight a few more fights. For what he should fight a few more fights? That doesn't even make no sense at 39 years old, bro. 39, about to be 40 next. What? You want a washed up fighter to be fighting just so that he can finally lose? Come on, bro. Come on, my guy. He been maximizing his earnings. See, here's what I want you guys to remember. There was always that narrative about Terrence Crawford, that he don't make money like that he don't put bus in seats like that he not doing a pay-per-view, and it was the PBC that got that started. It was the PBC fighters and the PBC who always, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, all of them guys, he don't make no money like that over there. They gotta talk money to us, right? Crawford last fight, he made more money than all them dudes combined. Danny, Keith, and I can't remember who else, and Errol. All three of them combined ain't make the type of money that Crawford made. So, what potential are you talking about maximizing when Crawford been maximizing his potential for over 10 years? While people were saying that Crawford broke, that he don't make no money, all that stuff, this dude signed his first deal with Top Rank like 15 years ago. He was making millions of dollars per fight. When he re-upped with Top Rank, he did it because they was paying him millions to fight. This dude been making millions and millions of dollars for mad years. You don't see him with diamond chains. You don't see a Ferrari and a Lamborghini collection. You don't see a Bugatti. You don't see... This dude's not blowing his money, bro. He's not blowing it. So Terrence Crawford got money that he'll never spend, that his kids will never spend, that his grandkids will enjoy. And you talking about maximizing his potential. Goddamn, what somebody got to do to maximize their potential? Crawford got over $100 million, bro. It don't get no more maximized than that. How much more can you maximize it than jumping up to a division, beating the guy that people said that you couldn't beat, and getting over $100 million? The potential has been maximized, Cano Crush. I promise you. You got to look at the bank account. TLM, Kobe. Ooh. How many of us shot a basketball? Kobe. How many of us shot a little piece of paper into a trash can? Kobe. 9 times out of 10, you're going to miss that shit, but you're going to give it a shot. Back talk media, Bo knows. Bo knows, my people. Of course. Them athletes is different. Different ball game. Different training. Back talk media. Terrence said recently his body is breaking down. Bro, Terrence Crawford been boxed for 20 years as a professional and boxed since he was a little kid as an amateur. He not trying to end up punch drunk. He not trying to end up messed up in the head. When he's already wealthy and don't need to fight, he good. Cano Crawford should have ended his career fighting Hamza Shiraz, Canelo rematch, and ending it with boots. Yeah, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. He should end his career exactly the way that he did. Perfect. He's not going to end up punch drunk just to make people happy. Wealthy. Think about it. Wealthy. Over $100 million. And you talking about he got to keep fighting. Nah, bro. You don't care about the fighter's health. You definitely don't care about the money. You just wanted to see him lose. Eye for eye in the building. Bam. Age of 17. Crawford said on the Ryan Clark podcast that he'd never fight again. And someone else, not even 200 million, Crawford said, that's selling your soul. That's the thing that Crawford been showed us, that his mind is made up. His mind is made up. People just don't want to let him go because they wanted him to lose badly. Badly they wanted him to lose. So they can accept it that he's done. Pugilism. Keyshawn standing on square business, calling out the books. Man, listen, you still going after that when Keyshawn Davis is the one that pulled out. That's it, pugilism. You were wrong. You said it was going to be Keyshawn and Devin. Then you said your local news said that they still negotiating. You still listening to the local news? Side, fighting Benavides and Boost. Imagine that. That's how badly Cano Crush want Crawford to lose. He wants Crawford to fight a guy that's at 168, and then after fighting at 168, go down to 154 and fight Jerome Boost. I was waiting for you to include Usyk in that list. After Boost, go to heavyweight and fight Usyk, and then come back down to 135 and fight Tank. You might like that too. I don't know. Crazy, yo, crazy. Eye for eye. Hit the like button. Yeah, can we get 20 like Jay Smith work hard for us? Get them likes up. I appreciate you, my brother. I really appreciate that. I'm over here while some of you guys were sleeping, taking a nice coffee nap. Guess what? Jay Smith was over here putting them images together at 11, 12 o'clock at night just to make sure I bring you guys a fire show. So please hit the like button, my people. Show some love. Listen, William Zepeda, I'm giving him his flowers. I bet against him. I thought he was going to lose, and he showed out. Crawford himself said it. I wasn't expecting that. That's not what I thought I was going to see. William Zepeda, I believe, taking that L that he took to Shakur Stevenson made him a better fighter. He's a better fighter after taking that L. Pugilism. Kids, Norfolk Pro Sports team and got to maximize his earning rightfully to give back to his city. That's a cool story, Pugilism. At what point are you going to tell us, yo, I should have been listening to you, Jay Smith. I was wrong. Keyshawn and Devin is not fighting like I've been saying they was going to fight for 2 months. You see how you switching up your tone, Pugilism? You were sure they were going to fight each other. You told all of us. You knew it. Now you're like, well, Keyshawn, Norfolk Pro Sports, he got to do something else. Like, bro, can you at least acknowledge it's okay to say I was wrong? Look at me. I don't hesitate to say, yo, I thought Lamar Roach was going to win. He lost. That's the difference between us, my G. I don't need to put up a whole paragraph of explanations. I was wrong. It happens. There's no such thing as anybody that's going to get 100% everything right. It happens, bro. You were wrong. Keyshawn, Devin, not fighting. Acknowledge that you was wrong, my G. And once you acknowledge that you was wrong, you don't need to put together all these explanations about Key doing what he got to do in sports team and all this other stuff that nobody really talking about. You feel like you need to explain yourself because you was wrong. If you just acknowledge that you was wrong, you wouldn't have to explain yourself. It would be a lot easier for you to say, yeah, man, I was wrong. I really thought it was going to happen. It didn't. I was wrong. TLM. Shiraz and Boots are not worthy to fight Crawford yet. And he's retired. And Canelo, he beat him up. That's it. And I'm going to remind you, when Floyd Mayweather retired, it was the same thing. The people who badly wanted Floyd to lose, why he retired? He should come back. He should fight this guy. He should fight that guy. Like, bro, he retired. Oh, no, don't retire. You gotta fight. Bro, Floyd Mayweather 38, 39, 40. Like, you want him to fight till he's 45 years old so he could lose and make you happy? Come on. Come on. Key a duck. Everybody know that Keyshawn duck except Pugilism. Everybody know what happened. Go get the Crawford haters. Oh, my God, yo. Just think about the level of hate for Terrence Crawford. It's already been more than a year since he retired. It's been like a year since this dude has his retirement party. Told all of us I'm done. And people still talking about, nah, he should have fought. He should have fought. I'm not hating on him. I just wanted to see him make more money. This guy made over $100 million and people talking about, nah, I just hope he could make more money. Come on, man. Let it go. Let the guy enjoy his retirement and keep making a shitload of money. Pugilism, no matter what you say, you was wrong. The fight you told us was going to happen and I told you was not going to happen, it's not happening. We're all still waiting for you to say, yeah, I was wrong. You say everything, but I was wrong. Them whole paragraphs, Pugilism, that you put it together, I'm going to start reading them. When you start off with, yo, I was wrong. For 2 months, I said Keyshawn and Devin was going to fight. I said they was going to fight, and I was wrong. They not going to fight. I was wrong. When you acknowledge that you was wrong, we could get into all them other explanations that you got. Nobody want to hear no explanations. Eye for eye. Some men pride won't allow them to admit, but wrong is wrong and right is right. You see? Pugilism don't want to hear it. Pugilism, look, the first moment that we found out this fight wasn't happening, I thought pugilism was gonna be like, yeah, I was wrong. The first day he came back with, nah, you in the local news, they saying that this fight could still happen because they're clinging on to hope. Now that hope is over, pugilism is like, nah, because you know, Keyshawn got to protect his thing and he got to make sure the bag is right. And Devin Haney did some other stuff. And my mans want to say everything, but I was wrong. You got to learn how to admit when you're wrong, my brother. That's actually a real good quality to have as a man, as a human being, to know when you're wrong. I hope that you're only like this in boxing. I hope that in real life out there, you know how to admit that you're wrong. Because it's fucked up to be that person who be wrong, and when they wrong, they just got an explanation for you. You feel like if you look, you're talking about Paro, Australia, Keyshawn, Devin. You saying everything, but I was wrong. Nah, you're not gonna slide from outside of from under the bus, my guy. We all waiting for you to say, yeah, I was wrong. I said Keyshawn and Devin was gonna fight next. They not gonna fight next. What I predicted was wrong. Say that, my guy. Be honest. Let it out. You don't need to have all these explanations, bro. Cano Crush, you don't fight Jay Smith. Bam, I appreciate you, family. Side, Key on a milk carton. I mean, we still haven't heard from Keyshawn Davis. He's still on the back of a milk carton. We trying to figure it out. But I want you guys to notice this. When I make a prediction, most of the times, I get them right. Most of the times. But every once in a while, there's going to be one that I get wrong. And when I get it wrong, I show up right here the next day in the morning. Nobody gotta convince me. You see how I'm trying to, you gotta convince Cano Crush to admit that he's wrong. You don't have to convince me. I start the live the next morning and I'm the first one to be like, yo, I got it wrong, baby. Damn, I thought Zepeda was gonna win, but you're not gonna have to convince me that I was wrong. I'm gonna tell you that I was wrong. Listen, my peoples, take it from Jay Smith. It's a real good quality to have, to know how to acknowledge that you were wrong. When you acknowledge that you were wrong, you don't have to put these long-ass paragraphs like pugilism trying to explain himself. You don't have to. You see, when it comes to Zepeda and Roach, I was wrong. I don't need to give you an explanation. I was wrong. Zepeda was better than I thought. Zepeda lost to Shakur, and showed up using that footwork, using those feints, using those angles. Prove me wrong. That's it. I was wrong. Start one of those paragraphs, pugilism, with I was wrong. It don't matter what Haney did. It don't matter what Keyshawn did. It don't matter what's happening in Australia. I was wrong, bro. Just go ahead and admit it. It's not hard to do that. TLM, I was wrong. Pugilism is the only one who doesn't know how to do that, bro. That's not a good quality, pugilism. I'm teaching you a life lesson, family. This is not even about boxing. In life, when you're wrong, acknowledge that you're wrong and get past all the explanation. By the way, my people, something that I wanted to point out, because we was talking about William Zepeda. Check it out, fellas. Right now, Mexico has 6 reigning world champions. 6. Mexico is doing their thing, fellas. And let me show you. Some of these champions we're not familiar with because of the weight class that they fight in. But look, William Zepeda, WBC lightweight champion. Jaime Munguia, WBA super middleweight champion. Emmanuel Navarrete, WBO and IBF junior lightweight champion. Rafael Espinoza, WBO featherweight. Jose Salas, IBF bantamweight. And Christian Medina, WBO bantam. My peoples, Mexico's on fire right now. 6 world champions for Mexico. Salute, bam. Especially to William Zepeda, who just became a champion for the first time. And like they said in a Ring magazine post, the second time was the charm. He lost to Shakur Stevenson, got made to look easy, but now he's a world champion. You gotta respect it, and he looked good. Eye for eye. I said that Zepeda was going to win. I was the only one. You may have been the only one, because I didn't see a lot of people saying Zepeda was going to win. Most of us had Roach. Zepeda showed out. TLM 6. Whoa. Mexico handling business, my peoples. And you guys remember, this is pugilism's favorite part right here. This pugilism favorite part. He's still giving out type of explanation and not admitting that he was wrong. You said Keyshawn was gonna fight Devin next. You even gave us a date. You was wrong, bro. We all waiting for you to say that you was wrong. All those explanations you already done talked about Australia, other fighters, other countries, like you talking about everything except you was wrong. We waiting for you, pugilism. Stop with all these paragraphs and say one line. Yo, Jay Smith, I was wrong. The fight did not happen like I thought, and you were right. The fight wasn't gonna happen. Say that. And then we could move on to all the explanations that you think you have that make sense. Underrated. Well, I said Zepeda last minute. Damn, you said Zepeda in round number 11. Like, yeah, I got Zepeda. He gonna beat him up. 21 green light. He was wrong when he said it. And he's still wrong now and don't want to admit it. Underrated. Well, he ducked it. TLM, you know what? This can be a Keyshawn will be missing you song. Like Biggie. Oh! I like that. Oh. Let me take a note of that, man. I might actually do that. Bro. We're gonna be missing you, Keyshawn. Ooh. Hold on, man. Damn, my people, look at Ice Spice. I know this ain't got nothing to do with boxing, but Ice Spice. Look at Ice Spice. Yeah, we don't need to be looking at that. It's too early in the morning. 2 left hooks. I got the bag with the Zepeda win. Whoa. You see what I'm talking about? Zepeda, you know, whoever bet for him, they made some money. They made some good money. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Lamar Roach the favorite to win that fight? I think he was the favorite. Ice Spice thick. TLM. Damn, Ice Spice bad. 8 and 17. They got Ice Spice on SpongeBob. Watch kids. Back Talk Media. Keep Duckington. Look, man. Social media has been going off on Keyshawn Davis since. We haven't seen the businessman. We don't know. We haven't heard the explanation from him as to why he decided to pull out. I've seen reports. You guys probably have too. People saying that Jay Prince told him not to take the offer because the $3 million wasn't going to be enough once they split that. I'm not sure, how they came up with that, because ultimately, I think you should have known that in the purse bid you wasn't going to get more than $3 million. If I knew it, you should have known it. So I felt like, you know what? They're going to gamble it to the purse bid, and they're going to take whatever's there to be offered. That's what I thought was going to happen. You see, if you guys remember what I've been saying was going to happen, because it didn't play out exactly like I said Keyshawn Davis is going to take no matter what. Whatever amount they offer, he's going to take it. Devin Haney's going to be the one who's probably going to vacate to go fight Shakur for the big bag. So it didn't play out exactly like I thought it would, but Keyshawn Davis still ended up not fighting Devin Haney. Ended up not fighting him. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Eye for eye. I admit it when I was wrong. Jay told me Brian Norman Jr. was going to lose to Debo. I didn't believe him. I was wrong as hell, my boy. But you see, here's the thing. When it happened, right away you was like, yo, you got it, B. You told me you got it. And that was it. You didn't have the need to have long explanations about how Brian Norman Jr. maybe wasn't ready and how Devin had kind of an advantage because of what had happened was. You didn't have to do that. You simply just acknowledge what happened and we move on. That's it. That's it. Look at pugilism still. Why would I say I'm wrong if Haney hasn't said another fight or Key hasn't updated the negotiations? So you're still clinging on to hope, pugilism. Everybody in here already knows what happened. And let me make it to you easier. Do you want me to show you what Bill Haney said? Bill Haney just said that they're going to move on to the next WBO mandatory. That Shakur got to earn his title. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to you if Bill Haney saying, Shakur, we're not going to fight you. You're going to have to earn your mandatory. Who the WBO puts up next, that's who we're going to fight. Isn't that enough for you, pugilism? But it's like I told you. You do not want to acknowledge that you're wrong, so you keep putting together these long, crazy paragraphs. You're making yourself look bad, bro. 21 left hooks. Keyshawn, the running man Davis. Ooh. Whoa, my people, the running man in the back of a milk carton. Look, we got to see how this whole situation is going to develop. Because now, I'm a little bit disappointed in the way Bill is moving forward with this whole situation. And I'm going to tell you why I'm a little bit disappointed. And Bill is my guy. I got a lot of respect for Bill Haney. A lot of respect for the way that he's been able to manage his son's career and how far they gone, how much they accomplished. But here's what I'm disappointed about. We've seen Bill Haney going back and forth about the whole Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson situation. Who are they going to fight? What are they going to do? Right? And I'm disappointed because they were pushing hard for that fight with Shakur Stevenson at 144 while Keyshawn Davis was the mandatory. While they could not fight Shakur without dropping the belt. So like, oh, we want to fight you at 144, but we got this situation over here. Okay. Well, that situation is not over there anymore. Keyshawn Davis pulled out of the negotiations. I know pugilism don't want to accept it, but Keyshawn Davis already pulled out of the negotiations, already told the WBO, we're not going to fight. That's it. That's it. It's over. Pugilism is going to cling on to it. I hope pugilism, when they announce another fight for Keyshawn, or when they announce another fight for Devin, I guess then we're going to have to wait till then for you to come in here and be like, yo, I was wrong. Everybody saw it except me. Because that's what happened, pugilism. Everybody see what's happening except you. You still put in long paragraphs about Paraguay, B-sides, Brazil, Australia. You're talking about everything except that prediction that you made. Nobody want to talk about that stuff. Nobody want to talk about no Paro and all that other stuff that you're talking about. We want to talk about that prediction that you don't want to admit that was wrong. But Bill Haney, it almost seems like they was bluffing. You know why? It seems like they was bluffing because they wanted to fight Shakur. They saying that they want to fight Shakur. They saying that they want to do the catch weight. As soon as Keyshawn Davis walks away from the negotiation, now they don't want to do 144 no more. Now they're not talking about the catch weight no more. Now they're not talking about fighting Shakur no more. Now Bill is saying, Shakur, you got to earn your fight. Earn your mandatory. You want to fight, earn your mandatory. So does that mean that you never really wanted to fight in the first place? You was just talking? Because I remember at 135, I got that feeling like y'all didn't want to fight Shakur. You know, you made the 25% offer and they went, pew, left the division quickly and swiftly. Now, interaction between Shakur and Devin all over social media. Bill said he wanted to make that fight. They want to make that fight at 144. But they only wanted to make that fight at 144 when Devin had a mandatory and couldn't do it. Now that Keyshawn Davis walks away from the fight and he can fight Shakur next if he wants to, nah, he got to earn his title. He got to earn his shot. He got to earn his way to mandatory. He want to fight us. Wait a minute, but it was less than a month ago y'all was talking about let's fight Shakur. Why you change your mind? I don't understand that. TLM Haney versus Tio. Ooh. That Haney versus Teofimo Lopez. I like that fight, but I don't know if it plays out exactly like Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. I don't know if we'll get a second installment of that. 2 left hooks. So could Devin fight? Could Devin fight at this point? Of course. Keyshawn already pulled out and he no longer has a mandatory. So based on what Bill is saying, they fight whoever the WBO designates as mandatory. So the next guy up, as a matter of fact, is going to be the person who should have been the mandatory, because you know that Keyshawn came up from 140. He hasn't even fought in the welterweight division. You ain't even fight at welterweight, and you wasn't the WBO champion. What are we talking about? Well, what are we talking about? So ultimately, we just have to see what direction Devin is going to go in, who's going to be his next mandatory, and what Keyshawn Davis is going to go, what he's going to do. Because notice, pugilism, you was talking about he got to worry about his money, and it's a business, and guess what? Keyshawn Davis is not going to make $3 million for his next fight. I bet he might not even make $2. He might not make that either for his next fight. So if he's worrying about the money, Devin Haney was the guy that was going to make him the most money. That's the most money he was going to make. Underrated Will. Tell him fight Norman again. A rematch with Brian Norman Jr. could potentially be in the cards if Norman Jr. wins the title. He's not just going to get a rematch just cause. Because Devin Haney dominated him. Made him look easy. So you really do have to earn that rematch if you want it. And by the way, he had a rematch clause. He was the world champion. He could afford an immediate rematch and chose not to. I know why. Pugilism, Brian Norman is #1, and Haney already beat him. The demand not on our side except for the Shakur fight or the Key fight. Pugilism. I'm gonna have to. You see, that's why you gotta come here so I could teach you. I could school you. The person labeled the mandatory is not always the #1 guy, my guy. If you look it up, you Google it, sometimes your mandatory could be the guy ranked #3, it could be the guy ranked #4, it could be the guy ranked #5. The #1 guy is not the mandatory automatically. So whoever told you that, they lied to you, bro. You just watch Keyshawn Davis move up to a whole new division and become the mandatory. He wasn't even ranked. He wasn't even ranked, bro, at welterweight. And he became the mandatory. So mandatory is not about being ranked #1. If anybody here thinks that you got to be #1 to be ranked, to be mandatory, they lied to you. You don't have to. 2 left hooks. Damn, I didn't look at it like that. See? Pugilism. Key not going to make $3 million, but he always worked hard, work his bottom line at the scope, and the business stays in Norfolk. Oh, no, listen, the businessman is going to keep making money. He's going to keep fighting. But he's not going to make as much money as he would have if he was a better businessman. Change that title. You're not the businessman. You didn't do the business that you should have been doing. Yo, just think about it. Keyshawn Davis turned out the biggest payday of his career, the biggest fight of his career, the biggest stage of his career. He turned it down. That's a massive loss, bro. He didn't lose inside the ring, but he took a nasty L outside the ring. Eye for eye. Devin can fight anybody. Devin's going to take on a nobody, and he's going to be a Buster Douglas of Mike Tyson fight. It's going to be an unknown that beat Devin Haney. Watch. Now, I don't think so. You know why I say I don't think so? Because at the level where Devin Haney's fighting, you're not going to see him getting in there with a nobody. The only way Devin gets in there with a nobody is if he got a fight lined up, and let's say 3 days before the fight, 5 days or whatever, his opponent get hurt, falls ill, break an ankle, running, some type of injury that prevents him from fighting, and they have to get a last-minute opponent, kind of like how Josh Padley got an opportunity to fight Shakur. It's mad funny to see the people trying to hate on Shakur. He fought a nobody. That was a replacement fighter. You forgot that he was supposed to fight Floyd Schofield, who got sick. So that's the only way Devin is gonna get in there with a nobody. His opponent get hurt, they gotta get a replacement. He'll handle business with that opponent. But he's not gonna lose like that, bro. He's not gonna lose like that. You know why he's not gonna lose like that? Because Devin Haney is a very disciplined fighter. He's one of those. You see how we talk about these fighters that are cut from a different cloth. Devin Haney is one of those. Mike Tyson, from the moment the old man died, the discipline issue started. Old man died, and it was almost immediately. That's nobody I could tell Mike Tyson, you can't do this, you can't do that. I've seen Mike Tyson in interviews say that he was scared of Cus D'Amato. When Cus say, go to your room, it's go to your room. You can't go outside, you can't go outside. So basically, the old man was super strict with Mike Tyson and kept him in the right direction. When he died and there was nobody to do that, that's it. Look with Buster Douglas, when he lost to Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson was literally hanging out with whores and getting coked up the day before the fight in Tokyo. He talked about taking mushroom, taking LSD, taking all type of shit. And then the next day going to fight, like, let me go handle this dude real quick. The rest was history. It turns out that Mike Tyson was fighting a Buster Douglas who was in the best training camp of his life, in the best shape of his life, and motivated because he was dedicating that fight to his mom, who had passed away recently. Mike Tyson fought the best Buster Douglas of Buster Douglas' entire career. He had a discipline problem, a bad discipline problem. In fact, Buster Douglas became a champion against Mike Tyson, and his very next fight, he was already weighing like 40, 50 pounds more against Evander Holyfield. Like 30, 20, I don't know if it was 20, 30 pounds, whatever it was, but he was mad heavy against Evander Holyfield and got cooked. And then he was never in shape again. If you watch every single Buster Douglas fight, after the Mike Tyson fight, he never got in shape like that again. Not once. So in other words, he was a guy who had a bad discipline problem. And when he was going to fight Mike Tyson, the stars aligned for him to focus. And he actually had a great training camp. That's why I always tell people, Buster Douglas is underappreciated. His skills are underappreciated. The biggest upset in boxing history, so people feel like this bum beat Mike Tyson. If you watch him, Buster Douglas wasn't a bum. He wasn't a bum, my people. This guy was nice, sharp, technically savvy. He just couldn't stay in shape. Simple as that. TLM hanging out with whores. Oh, man. It's the way you said it, but I ain't lying, bro. And Mike Tyson was single back then. A whore here and there ain't gonna do you bad. He ain't cheating on nobody. Side, bro was at the brothel, not the gym. I mean, come on, bro. You don't see that those whores are gonna suck the energy out of you? Literally, it's not figuratively speaking. Eye for eye, facts. I know about Buster. I always try to tell people, man, especially when they tell me, Mike Tyson lost to a bum and Buster Douglas. Buster Douglas was not a bum. Buster Douglas was not a bum. This guy was a very skilled fighter. A sharp shooter. And if you watch what he did to Mike Tyson, ain't no bum gonna do that. Guy was nice. TLM, how is someone else's business any business? Come on, man. On top of that, a dude called Businessman. The dude called Businessman, right now looking like he don't know nothing about business. Two left hooks like Andy Ruiz beating AJ. Oof. But, you see, how can anybody say that AJ got beat by a bum in Andy Ruiz? And that's a perfect example, because you saw Andy Ruiz win that fight, and what happened in the next one? Andy Ruiz showed up to the next fight, to his first title defense, the same way that Buster Douglas showed up for his first title defense. They did the same thing. Made a nice bag and lost their focus immediately. Started having a good time. Buster Douglas eating his ass off. And look how it ended up. But I promise you, if you watch Douglas, he could have been one of the greatest fighters of the era. He could have been, the Lennox Lewises, the Evander Holyfields, the Riddick Bows. Buster Douglas could have been one of those guys. The Klitschko brothers. Buster Douglas could have been one of them. It's just that discipline in sports determines your longevity. How long can you stay at the top for all of it? Buster Douglas became one of those guys who won one title, lost it, never became champion again. Discipline. It's all about the discipline. TLM, AJ almost lost this last outing. Fury gonna F AJ up respectfully. I got Tyson Fury winning that fight. AJ, how many times already have we seen him hurt? How many times have we seen him hurt? Now, look, I'm going to be honest. I don't like to say that he's chinny. You know why? Because if you get hit with a real hard shot, anybody turn chinny when that happens. Anybody can get wobbled. But he get hit too much with those type of shots. And if Fury hurt you, he going to get you out of there. He going for the kill. That's what Tyson Fury does. You can't afford to get hurt by a guy like Tyson Fury. If you do, your ass is cooked. But, my peoples, going back to the whole situation with Bill Haney, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, all of that stuff, I thought the moment Keyshawn Davis backed out of this fight, the moment he ducked, they was going to be like, sure, you ready for that smoke down? We free, you're free, let's do it. Instead, what we're getting, no, Shakur got to earn his mandatory, and after he earned mandatory, we could make it happen, and we're going to find who the WBO say. It's like, damn, bro, y'all changed the whole tune up. It was a whole different tune that y'all was singing, and it just changed out of nowhere. Two left hooks. I got Tyson stopping AJ around 5th or 6th round. If Fury hurt him, he's going to get him out of there in brutal fashion. TLM, we always say their heavyweight shots are different. Them heavyweight shots, they different. You can have the strongest chin. That shot will sleep you. Eye for eye, Tyson Fury still think he Muhammad Ali, man. AJ don't have a footwork to keep up with Tyson Fury. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. I'm someone that at some point, I even thought Tyson Fury was messing with them things, with them PEDs. You know why I thought he was messing with them things? It's like, wait a minute. This dude big as hell, big ass belly, flabby, and my man's could be in round number 10 still bouncing on his toes. Tyson Fury still doing that shit. I'm like, how, bro? How is it? I'm telling you, I actually, and by the way, I don't think that I'm accusing Tyson Fury of anything. I'm not. Don't get it twisted. Mic check, my people. Let me know if the audio is good. Have some little internet situation. But think about Tyson Fury, fellas. My man's 250 pounds. Or 200 and whatever. How is round number, it be round number 8, round number 9, round number 10, and you see Tyson Fury still. Huh? Bro, you're not supposed to be bouncing around like that. You're too big for that shit. So how is AJ gonna be able to compete with a guy that's so mobile, that has such great footwork, when he don't got no footwork? Because that's one thing about AJ. The offensive firepower is at the highest level. AJ could sit in there and bang with anybody. He got the tools to do that. But when it comes to the defensive end, you've seen AJ hurt and wobbled a bunch of times. And of course, Andy Ruiz stopped him. So he stepped in there with a Tyson Fury who's so technically sound, who got that footwork, that movement, those angles. I think AJ's gonna look like a robot in comparison to Tyson Fury. You know how AJ sometimes be looking all stiff and shit, and Tyson Fury bouncing around on some Ali shit. So I'm sorry, my peoples. I don't see AJ. I do not see AJ beating Tyson Fury. That's just me. Eye for eye. Because he stays in shape and he believes in God. Tyson Fury said he can't do nothing without Christ. TLM, runners got to have footwork advantage. But that's the thing. You have a guy with great footwork and a guy who's going to stand in there, you know, try to beat you up but doesn't have that footwork, he's going to have some problems. He's going to face some challenges. Eye for eye. Don't forget them gypsies been fighting for a long time. Oh, yeah, that's for sure. See? Gypsies, in a way, I could compare them to Mexicans. Because they have that fighting style of, I can take whatever you got, can you take whatever I got. Your best shots, I'ma take them. Can you take this though? That's the approach that you saw with Deontay Wilder. That's the approach. Deontay Wilder landed some bombs on Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury ate those. But then when it was his turn, Wilder couldn't do it. Remember that first fight when Wilder dropped Fury? That it looked like Fury was in Valhalla for a few seconds. He wasn't on this earth. He was somewhere else. His physical body was here, but that man's soul was gone. My man's opened his eyes like the Undertaker in the cameras. And just rose. I ain't never seen some shit like that in boxing, bro. When you ever seen somebody like go to sleep, like he got slept? Get up and even win the rest of the round. Because he got up and the rest of the round he actually won it. Pop, 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 put hands on Wilder. After coming from unconsciousness. That's some old Gypsy King shit. Man went from sleeping to beating up his opponent in the blink of an eye. You gotta respect Tyson Fury, bro. You gotta respect him. Eye for eye. That's exactly how that fight finna go, Jason. You a sidekick. Appreciate it, family. TLM, they can bang. What is a long count by the ref? A long count by the ref is when the fans wanted the other guy to win, so they decided it's a long count. If it's the guy that you like who's down, it's not a long count. If it's a guy that you don't like, it is a long count. That's how that works. Simple as that. Fans only see a long count when they wanted a guy to lose. So Wilder fans will say, that was a long count, that was a long count. But anytime Wilder been down for 15 seconds, they didn't see a long count. So that long count stuff only come up when your favorite fighter get beat. Oh, the other guy got a long count. Look, look at Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas. And people say Buster Douglas got a long count when Mike Tyson dropped him. But bro, look at Mike Tyson when he got dropped. That referee did not want to stop the fight, bro. If you put a watch on Mike Tyson count, that shit was like at 15. And the referee still like, yo, he was scared to death of stopping that fight. But there was nothing he could do. Mike Tyson, you know, my man's already at like 15, and Mike Tyson with the mouthpiece, trying to put on the mouthpiece, yeah, he got to stop it. I got to stop it already. But that man did not want to stop that fight, bro. So that long count stuff, I don't pay it attention. I understand how it works. If you want a guy to lose, you want the referee to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, you're out. And if you want a guy to win, you don't have a problem with the ref going 1, 2. So it depends. It depends who's down for you to decide if it's a long count. Ultimately, the count is up to the referee's discretion, and I leave it at that. If you got stopped, you got stopped because you got somebody in front of you that was fighting. TLM, Wilder said he had a bunch of evidence that we will see the light when he retires. That really just means he don't got shit. My man say he's gonna show the evidence when his book come out. That means he don't got no evidence. Not a shred of evidence. And you know how you know that Wilder got no evidence? Bro, if he did, he would have put the evidence out and tried to overturn the outcome of the fight. Right? He would have overturned it. Like, nah, look, they cheated. Let's overturn it and let's run it back. He didn't overturn it, right? He didn't try to overturn it. He didn't bring out the evidence. Who the hell has evidence and hides it away? Like, yeah, I got evidence, but I don't want nobody to see it. Nah. Wilder now. All them punches that he took to the dome piece got him a little bit messed up. Valhalla. I said that to the Undertaker. He went and had a talk with the Lord. Yo, Tyson Fury went to Valhalla for like 3-4 seconds. I don't know if they kicked him out. You're not worthy of Valhalla. Go back to Earth. And he had to go back and beat up Wilder for the rest of the fight. Side, that will never come out. What will come out? Wilder making shit up out of thin air. There ain't nothing to come out. Eye for eye. He did, Jay. Look at the white gloves outside the ring when Buster got dropped. The white gloves outside the ring, I don't remember that. I remember that. Side, Richie Torres still in Valhalla. Oh man, that was brutal. That was a brutal knockout. And Frank Sanchez earned a lot of people's respect. A lot of people's respect because folks were saying he was going to get knocked out. Which, by the way, I got that prediction. And I've been saying, you know, Richard Torres is a real good fighter, but he has some fundamental flaws that he got to work on. And damn, I'd like to go back and find that video, but it would be so hard. I've said it before. Out of all the young heavyweights that are coming up, you know, Termoana, Caballero, who's still relatively young. He's not an old head like that. We talking about Moses Itauma. These young heavyweights, I said, Richard Torres is going to be the first one to lose, and he's the weakest link out of that group. I don't think he could beat the other guys that I mentioned. And you know why I felt that way? Because watching his fights, you know, he don't have that many fights as a professional. You know, it's an early career still. But I see when he goes on the inside, and he does this to his opponents. Bam, 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 bam. Like, I know you guys seen him. I know you guys seen Richard Torres Jr. doing this. When he gets on the inside of his opponents, yeah, you hitting him real hard, but those looping punches that he throws back to back like that, I said, yo, he gonna fight a sharpshooter who's gonna go right down the middle, bang, and just shatter him. And how did he get knocked out? He was stepping away with a hook, and he missed. And when he was like this, what he threw? Look, a hook. And when he missed, Frank Sanchez went right down the pipe. Boom! Destroyed him. So they got to work on some fundamentals with Richard Torres Jr. He got knocked out the way that I envisioned him getting knocked out. Chemical, bam, salute my brother, turning the screen blue early in the morning. What you got for me, Chemical? Tyson Fury got 3 long counts versus Deontay Wilder. But that's what I'm trying to tell you, my brother. Like, what is really a long count? It's a long count when we might have been rooting for the other guy. Because I promise you, Deontay Wilder has got long counts too. And nobody said, oh, he got a long count, he got a long count. Nah. You just let him fight. So that long count stuff, I don't put no weight on it. May the best man win. Fury was the best man. I don't think, even if you believe that he got a long count, I don't think you could say that Wilder's the better fighter than Fury. He didn't win on any of those cards. He wouldn't have won on any of those cards. He would have lost. So I think the long count is more of us as fans not wanting to accept that Fury was the better fighter. So we, you know, there's an explanation. Oh, he got a long count. But he got his ass whooped though. Age of 17. I got him caught. Eddie Reynoso did an incredible coaching job. And Frank Sanchez went out there and did it. Performed at the highest level. A lot of people was talking about on this very show that Frank Sanchez was going to get knocked out by Richard Torres Jr. Didn't exactly go out that way. Why? Frank Sanchez, a Cuban fighter. You guys know Cubans by default is like, them motherfuckers is born with the footwork. I think if you're born in Cuba, as soon as you start walking, you'll be like this. That footwork from Cuba is no joke. So when you have, you know, Frank Sanchez, as solid as he is, as good as he is, you got Richard Torres Jr., who's a very strong fighter, very hard puncher, but doesn't have those fundamentals. Frank Sanchez is going to do what he do. And here's the thing about that knockout too, and I spoke to you guys about it, what made it such a special knockout. Fellas, let me replay it for you. I'm Frank Sanchez, right? You're Richard Torres Jr., so you getting knocked out in this example. When Richard Torres Jr. was backing away straight back, you know, when they teach you in boxing, don't never go straight back. Never go straight back. You know why? Because a fighter can go forward faster than you can go back. You gotta understand that. If you go straight back like this, Somebody going forward, boom, you cooked. So Richard Torres Jr. is backing away, and when Frank Sanchez was going forward, he tried to catch him with a hook as he was backing away. Now, Frank Sanchez didn't just throw a punch from where he was at. He actually stepped a little bit to the left outside of Richard Torres' lead foot. And when he did that, that little subtle step, you know what it caused? It caused him to be, as Richard Torres finished with that right hook, Frank Sanchez was right there. So now, poor, bless his heart, Richard Torres Jr. was in a position where all he could do now is brace himself for that shot. All he could do now is go, boom, and eat that. Because now you are in a position to defend yourself, and he's in a position to give you the hardest right hand right down the pipe. And that's the way it played out. But what made that shot what it was is that little subtle step outside of Richard Torres' lead foot that left him in a position that he could defend himself. Boom! Go to sleep. Knocked him out. So they have to develop that footwork on Richard Torres Jr., that movement. You got to develop it. If not, in the heavyweight division, you're going to keep getting knocked out. And by the way, a lot of people were saying that Richard Torres Jr. is too small and that he got to move down and fight at a lower division. Bro, Richard Torres Jr. like 6 feet tall. Hold on, is he even taller? He might be 6'2", I don't remember. Hold on, look. Let me see. You guys know I like to fact check myself. I don't make stuff out of thin air and shit. Let's see. Height. Let's see, my people. My peoples, Richard Torres Jr. is 6'2". He's 6'2", with a reach of 76 inches. He not a small dude, my peoples. So there's a lot of folks who say, he got slept, but that dude was too big for him. My man's is 6'2". He big as hell too. He not a small guy. Chemical. Tyson Fury's count was so long that the commentator mentioned it during the third fight. Well, it was happening about 22 seconds and about 18 seconds in that third fight. Nah, I think the 22-second thing is exaggerated by a lot. Matter of fact, look, let me show you. Because this is boxing for breakfast, right? This is when we talk boxing, we review it. Guess what? Right now, my guy Chemical turned the screen green earlier, motivated me to look for that knockdown. So guess what? I'm gonna look for that knockdown, and we can count it right here, bro. And I'm gonna show you, Chemical. I'm gonna show you right now that the 22 seconds and even the 18 seconds is cap. I'm gonna prove it to you right now. Watch this. Watch this. Fury. No, Wilder. Wilder drops Fury. I'm gonna show you, my guy. Watch this. You said that the first time was 22 seconds, right? Check it out, Chemical. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna show it to you right here. Look at it right there. Hold on. You see, we could talk about it, but it's better if we actually see it. Look at it right there, and I'm accounting for you. Look. Watch this. Boom. 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. 4, 1,000. 5, 1,000. 6, 1,000. 7, 1,000. 8, 1,000. 9, 1,000. 10, 1,000. He's up. Where was the 22 seconds at? Where was the 22 seconds at, my guy? Guess what? You know why I looked this up and I could show you, and I know I did a video where when Fury drops, I put on a clock. and I let the clock count for you. He got up like I ate. He got up off the canvas like I ate. Chemical, in the third fight, not the first fight, but bro, you said that in the first fight, he was like 22 seconds and then like 18 seconds. I'm telling you. Okay, you see, so I told you the first fight, he got up before the 10 seconds. We're going to go to the third fight. I'll be happy to show you that too, my guy. I've been doing this. My brother. I never cap. I never make stuff up out of thin air. I promise you. You're going with the narrative. You don't realize that you're going with what they said. You're going with what they said, not what actually happened. Let's go to the third fight. Watch this. Watch this. Fury. Wilder drops Fury. And third fight. Watch this, bro. So you can see where the 18 seconds is at. Look at it right here, my brother. Look at it right here. Look at it right here. That shit got a clock on it and everything. Look. 21 left hooks. Breakfast full of facts. Look, he's up. Look what they did. They so smart that when he got up, they let the watch keep running to try to say that he was down for more. But even when they let the watch keep running, by 11, he was up, bro. Look. That's the last fight. That's the night that you were saying with like 20 seconds and 18 seconds. Look. You see that? He got up at 10, and they let the clock keep running. They wanted it to look like, 15, 16. My man is already up, and the clock ran for like 3-4 more seconds. So there you have it, my G. I speak with facts only. He was never down for no 20 seconds. He was never down for no 18 seconds. He was never down for none of that. And then if we look at Deontay Wilder's knockdown, he was down for almost about the same time. It wasn't a slow count like people saying it is. Chemical. There are 2 knockdowns in the third fight. They both the same thing, bro. Look. Okay, I'll find you that other knockdown too. Let me see. I think I got it. Oh, no. Hold on. I found the Wilder knockdown. Okay, so I found it, but I only found one knockdown, and it's the one I showed you. I don't see the other one. But I'm showing you, my God. I've already shown you 2 knockdowns from 2 different fights, and none of them was no 18 and 20 and all that crazy stuff. None of them. If we find any knockdown, it's going to be the same thing, my God. There's no such thing as he was down for all that time. That doesn't exist. And I promise you that anybody saying that was simply rooting for Deontay Wilder. So when it didn't play out the way that people wanted it, fuck it, he was down and they cheated. They helped him out. Crawford Quavius. Salute Crawford Quavius. Bam. In the building, family. Eye for eye. Pull up that Tyson fight. Show the world so they can see for themselves. TLM. Don't run with the narratives. I never do, fam. I never run with the narrative. That's why when people say, Fury was down for 1 million seconds, I look it up myself and be like, look, he wasn't down for all that time like people say he was. Ultimately, Tyson Fury didn't beat Deontay Wilder because they cheated. He beat Deontay Wilder because he's the better fighter. He beat Deontay because he's the more skilled fighter. That's it. That's why he beat him. We have to understand. Look at Deontay Wilder. Look at his resume. Look at the best wins in his resume. Look at who he faced. Tyson Fury is the better fighter, my peoples. Deontay Wilder's someone who I got mad respect for because with limited skills, with a non-existent amateur career, you know, he went to the Olympics, but he didn't have a long career. He just made it that far because he was that good. He was that big. That's strong. But if you look at Wilder, I'm going to put it to you like this. Most people here can't name 3 opponents that Deontay Wilder defended his titles against. If you don't Google it, real quick, off the top of your dome, most people can't say Deontay Wilder defended his title versus this guy, and that guy, and that's why he's great. You can't. His opponents don't even come up. So and I don't want you to misconstrue what I'm trying to say, because Deontay Wilder became a heavyweight champion of the world, defended his title a bunch of times. You gotta give him his respect. You gotta give him his flowers. But he doesn't have a better resume than Tyson Fury. He doesn't have a better resume. And he hasn't beat better opponents than Tyson Fury. They faced each other 3 times. 2 out of 3 Tyson Fury beat him. And you know what? Tyson Fury beat him the first fight. They did that draw to extend it, get the trilogy, get the money, all this stuff. Tyson Fury won the first fight, bro. If you take away the knockdown, think about this. I don't know how many of you seen the first fight live, but if you take away the knockdown that Wilder scored at the end of the fight, he lost that fight, bro. Tyson Fury was outboxing him throughout the whole fight. Outboxing him. When they said it was a draw, I was shocked. Because when he knocked him down, I was like, you're way too behind on the cards. That's not going to be enough for you to win. I couldn't believe it when they said it was a draw. So Wilder got gifted a draw and then got beat twice by Tyson Fury. All that stuff about the long counts, that's not even a conversation. The best fighter won twice. 3 times if we're being honest. Agent 17, Jay Smith, it's a 10 count, not a 10-second count. People always mix that up. That's a big problem that people have. But I think they only mix it up when they rooting for one guy and it's the other guy that gets that count. That's when they mix it up. Because ultimately, it's not 10 seconds. It's a 10 count. If it was 10 seconds, look how easy it is. If it was 10 seconds, my peoples, hold on, let me show you. Look, if it was 10 seconds when somebody get knocked down, there would just be a timer. There would just be a 10-second timer and that's it. You hit, pop, turn on the timer. And that's it. It's not 10 seconds. It's a count. Every referee doesn't count at the same speed. But it's going to be pretty close to 10 seconds. We only gave that Fury the 10-second count so you could see that he wasn't down for as long as people say. But it's not a 10-second count. It's a 10 count. So if I'm counting, if I'm the referee, I might go 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you count, you might be like 1, 2, 3. You might do it a little bit faster than me, or I might do it a little bit faster than you. But neither one of those counts is wrong. 10 count, guess what? It's up to the referee's discretion. Everybody doesn't count the same. But the narrative that, this got help with the long count is crazy. He was outboxing the shit out of Wilder. In every fight, he outboxed him. There was never a moment in those fights where you felt like Wilder was the better fighter. Now, when he landed those hard shots, oh my God, wait a minute. He got that knockout power. But I don't think there's anyone in here that would ever say that Deontay Wilder's a better boxer than Tyson Fury. I don't think so. I would like to believe that y'all wouldn't do that to yourselves. Agent 17, Wilder ruined the original Fury versus Joshua. Yeah, man. Robbed us of that fight, what's rightfully needed. Now we're getting in years when both fighters have shaky chins and are much older. No, look, I gotta tell you. Fury versus AJ is one of those fights that it took too long for hardcore boxing fans. Leslie King, bam, salute, appreciate you dropping in. It's one of those fights that if you're a real hardcore boxing fan, it took too long. Took a little bit too long. But if you're a casual fan of boxing, which is the majority, you gotta understand that. When you go to a venue that sold out 50,000 seats or 30,000, it's only like 10% of that crowd that is hardcore boxing fans. The majority are casual fans, right? For casual fans, it's not gonna be too late. This is gonna be one of the biggest fights in UK history. They're gonna sell out a venue. I'm assuming they're gonna do it in Wembley's. They're gonna sell out a venue. The pay-per-view numbers are gonna be insane, and they're gonna break all type of records. And we're gonna tune in. We're gonna tune in. And here's the thing. They're both old enough to where we could say they're not in their prime, but they still young enough to give us a great fight. Tyson Fury's in his 30s. Matter of fact, both of these guys are younger than Terence Crawford. Look at that. People want Crawford to come back. Crawford, come back. You need to come back. He about to be 40. Ah, but Tyson Fury and AJ, they too old. Nah, these guys are in their 30s. So it's not like they slow down and diminish and we're going to get a boring fight. We're going to get a heck of a fight. In fact, this fight might even be a great one because they're not going to have, Fury is not going to use that mobility and have AJ chasing him around. He's a little bit older and, you know, it's reasonable to think he's going to stand in there a little bit more with AJ. He still got that footwork. He can still bounce on his toes. But we're going to see it. We're going to see them trace some nasty leather. And probably ends up in devastating fashion too. So Fury and AJ, my peoples, which is probably going to go down at the end of this year, I'm expecting a great fight. I don't care that they're in their late 30s. I'm expecting a great fight from two elite level world champions. AJ 17, wasn't Fury set to fight Klitschko earlier in his career? I think at some point that was a conversation and I don't know why that fight never happened. TLM, I saw a statistic that said that casual fan is the spender. Oftentimes that's true. Because here's the thing. When you go, and I've been to fights. I've been to fights in the US, I've been to fights here. You will see a lot of people who follow boxing casually, but they like to go to these events. They want to take, in fact, casual fans take more pictures with the fighters than hardcore fans. And you know why I'm telling you that? Because I've been to events where it's casual fans lined up to take pictures, and then the hardcore fans, they just want to give the fighter a pound. The hardcore fan, they're like, yo, good fight, bro. That shit was crazy. You did your thing. Like, casual fans prefer to interact with the fighter and give them their flowers. That to be like, yo, let's take a picture. Let me take a picture with you. So you see, I'm not saying that we wouldn't take a picture with the fighter, but you see more casual fans lining up to take the pictures and lining up for the autograph. And there's hardcore fans that have been to a million fights, never got a single autograph from a fighter. Seen them, talked to them, never asked a single fighter for an autograph. So the energy when you're a hardcore fan is a little bit different. We want to give you your flowers. We want to, you know, we want to interact with you. But the casual fan is the one that's like, take a picture, sign it for me, do a video saying hello. You know, they take it further. And casual fans do spend a lot of money. It's like I told you. You go to a venue, it's probably 10% of hardcore fans, 90% casual fans in full force. I put it to you like this. And I have put people on the spot before. People who told me, yo, my favorite fighter is Floyd Mayweather. Oh, word, that's your favorite fighter? Tell me 3 people Floyd Mayweather beat. And they couldn't do it, bro. Floyd Mayweather got fans who have never watched an entire Floyd Mayweather fight. They just know he's undefeated. He got that O, and they see the highlights. And then in many cases, hey, I got the opportunity to go see Floyd in Vegas, in person. But ultimately, there's a lot of fans out there who don't even know the fighter like that. Who couldn't tell you anything about the fighter. They just know he's undefeated, or he's a world champion, or he put butts in seats. So I want to go see it in person. I want to experience this. Eye for eye. Can we get 40 likes? Yeah, we don't ghost watch here. Support or get the F out of here. Come on, my peoples. No ghost watching in 2026. We headed for the #1 spot. Let's make it, man. Come on now. Fellas, so what's next for Shakur Stevenson? It looks like Devin is going to duck him. You guys know Devin ducked Shakur at 135. It looks like Devin is going to duck him again now. Let's fight at 144. You want to do it at 144? All that talking while Keyshawn Davis was the mandatory. As soon as Keyshawn Davis is no longer the mandatory, Shakur got to earn his title. He got to earn his mandatory. He got to... Damn, but y'all was just talking about fighting at 144. What changed? Now that we're all available to make the fight, you don't want to do it no more? Now you're setting new expectations? Come on, man. COE Films. Bam, salute, family. I don't understand it, bro. It was just 2 weeks ago y'all was talking about, let's do it at 144. You scared, let's do it. And now you don't want to do it. Now that Keyshawn stepped away, now you don't want to do it at 144. Now he needs to earn a title shot. Come on, man. Y'all going to do the same thing you did at 135. He's going to become your mandatory. You're going to drop your belts and you're going to leave to 154. The second duck move is already on the way. 2 left hooks. I've been on an elevator with Ugas a few years back and didn't get an autograph. You see what I'm saying? You see? You may have been like, oh shit, what's up, champ? What's up, yo, congrats. But the hardcore fans, we rarely get an autograph. Oftentimes don't even get a picture. You know, unless there was somebody else, they, yo, take a picture real quick. But you don't see a lot of hardcore fans with the selfie. TLM, I hope they can make Shakur versus Tank fight happen. Haney fears Shakur. At this point, it's like everybody fears Shakur. Shakur the boogeyman Stevenson. But it looks like there's a good possibility for us to get Shakur Stevenson versus OShaquie Foster. You guys know Shakur, he don't call out a lot of names. He don't say, I want this guy or I want that guy. He don't really do that like that. He really focuses on the person he want to fight. So he had been focusing on Devin, but now he know Devin duck. Look how it works. Keyshawn ducked Devin, and Devin ducked Shakur. So now he got to look for the next move. I believe the next move might be OShaquie Foster. Look at the way he talking. OShaquie's like, yo, champ, I see why you didn't keep the belts at 135. But Shakur is like, you know what? Shut up. Shut your goofy, scary ass up, and let's make it happen. Let's get active. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I don't know if you saw Shakur Stevenson and OShaquie Foster when they stood face to face with each other. OShaquie looked little, bro. Little in front of Shakur. He gonna get beat up, battered, pummeled. Pugilism. Haney is the one renegade acting like he's all spades with a... Yeah, you're still talking about Paro over there, bro. I don't even know where you get this Paro stuff from. It's Keyshawn Davis that walked away from negotiations. They went to purse bid pugilism. Haney was willing to take the purse bid amount. It's your boy Keyshawn Davis who ducked the smoke by walking away. You keep pointing at Devin and looking away from Keyshawn. It's Keyshawn that walked away. It's Keyshawn that ducked. You gotta stop pointing at other people. You bringing up Paro, Australia, and everything else except the guy who actually ducked. Keyshawn Davis. Be honest with yourself, man. Eye for eye. Foster and Stevenson will be a hell of a fight, man. I want to see that too. I mean, honestly, I didn't want to see it. if that's the option that Shakur's gonna have to go for, I think it'll be a good fight. I think OShaquie could make it interesting for a little bit, but I say Shakur picks him apart. Shakur picks him apart. OShaquie Foster's too little. A guy who has a height and reach disadvantage against Shakur is guaranteed to get cooked. You could put your money up right now, bet your money on Shakur. You're not gonna make a lot because OShaquie's gonna be the underdog. But if you want to flip your money, put it on Shakur. 2 left hooks. Shakur versus Russell at 140. I like that fight. I like that fight. And in fact, let me just point out that Shakur mentioned Gary Antoine Russell's name. So he could be a future opponent. We'll see Shakur fight. Let's see it. Let's see the way that it plays out. But as of right now, OShaquie Foster is looking like he's the front runner to get battered by Shakur Stevenson. Pugilism. Haney willing to take purse bid amount. Okay, so there you go. He willing to take purse bid amount, and Keyshawn Davis walked away, scared to death. Keyshawn duck. TLM. Shakur is hard to beat. I don't see hole in his game because he keeps improving on everything. Ain't nobody beating Shakur, fellas. There's history between him and OShaquie Foster. They sparred before. OShaquie put a story out there about how he beat up Shakur and ran him out of the ring and all this stuff. And Shakur, he wasn't happy about all that shit talking. And look at this picture right here. Who looked like they got beat up in this picture? Who you think got beat up in that sparring session? We talk about it all the time, man. When 2 people spar each other and you see one of them like this, and you see the other one like this, who you think got beat up in that sparring? Take a wild guess. So, but to OShaquie's defense, what he says, supposedly, is that Shakur went to the gym, they sparred, he put hands on Shakur, and then, everybody left, and that Shakur was so upset about him putting hands on him that they called him like, nah, we're going to do it again tomorrow. I'm going to come back tomorrow. And the next day Shakur went and gave it to him. I'm pretty sure he went like, oh, you think you better than me? Fucked him up. But whichever way it played out, if they fight now, Shakur is going to pummel him. Remember that I told you, it's going to turn into a pummeling session. TLM, Haney can fight the winner of Roddy versus Tio or Garcia versus Ben. Oh, I like both of those. Maybe Ryan Garcia will be the front runner because we've been wanting to see Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney fight that rematch at the welterweight division. Both of them are the best version of themselves. That's the perfect timing. Right now is the perfect timing. Assuming they both win their next fight, Ryan Garcia as a world champion get to step in there with Devin Haney. I love it. I want to see the fight. Let's see. Of course, Devin Haney. Who is he going to fight next? Ryan Garcia has to get past Conor Ben. Has to do it. Hey, the 17. This reminds me of the Boots and Canelo sparring photo. Yup. Boots and Canelo look just like that. You saw Boots with a big smile on his face and Canelo looking like OShaquie Foster. Like he didn't want to even take that picture. Like, damn, man, I got to take this picture with this dude after getting cooked with him. Pugilism. He's still the bigger fight with Haney as the A side. He's not a bigger fight than Shakur Stevenson. He's not a bigger fight than Ryan Garcia. He's not a bigger fight than Jerome Bruce Anderson or Xander Sayers. I don't know what you're talking about. There's like 5-6 people with a bigger name and a bigger fan base than Keyshawn Davis that Devin Haney could fight next. What are you talking about? Agent 17. That photo. Oh, okay. TLM. Haney versus Garcia. It's a bigger fight than Key. Correct? Bro, it's not even close. It's not even close. Don't you understand that Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia? Look, I'll put it to you like this. Go back and see how much money that fight generated. Oh, that's Devin Haney's biggest fight of his career, biggest payday of his career, biggest. I don't know about the Brian Norman Jr., but I still think Ryan Garcia is the biggest fight Devin Haney ever had, the most money he ever made. It's not even close. It's not even close. You see, what pugilism don't understand is that he's looking at it from, this is my guy and I gotta fight for him at all costs and I gotta put him ahead of everybody at all costs. But Keyshawn Davis is not a bigger star than Shakur Stevenson. He's not a bigger star than Tank Davis. He's not a bigger star, of course, than Devin Haney, than Ryan Garcia. There's a lot of dudes out there that got a bigger name than Keyshawn Davis. Outside of pugilism and I guess people from Virginia, people know that he's going to be the B-side to all these guys. He's the B-side to all of those guys. TLM, he's not as big a star as he think he is. He's not as big of a star as he think he is. Obviously, the purse bid and the $3 million offer showed him that. He's nowhere near as a bigger star as pugilism thinks. My man think Keyshawn is the biggest star for Devin Haney. I know you believe that. Nah, pugilism. That's like when you said Devin Haney and Keyshawn Davis were going to fight next, and you just can't accept that you was wrong. You're wrong with this one too. Like, not even close. Not even close, my guy. I gotta be honest with you. Now, are we gonna end up seeing Shakur Stevenson versus OShaquie Foster? Is that fight gonna happen? It could. It could happen. I'm starting to feel like this might be Shakur's next fight. Musmayo, what do you think about your boy Roach? That was an extremely tough 3-fight stretch. My God, I was asking earlier if that fight with Tank Davis changed Lamar Roach. If it took too much from him. Because I felt like he beat Tank Davis. Me. I stand on 10 toes. Lamar Roach beat Tank Davis. But he took a lot of punishment in that fight. He ate some hard shots from Tank Davis. And ever since then, he got a draw with Pitbull and a loss to Zepeda. He hasn't been able to get a win after that fight. Did that take too much from him? Did Tank Davis damage Lamar Roach in a way that we're not going to see him be the same? Because, okay, he beat Tank Davis, but is he going to be that same fighter again who beat Tank Davis? No, bro. I don't know if he's going to be that same guy that we saw put all type of hands on Tank. He hasn't been. He hasn't been that. Foster nice, but Shakur is going to punish him for beating up his son. That's the thing, man. Look, I got mad respect for OShaquie Foster. But he's small dude, bro. Compared to Shakur. A shorter guy with shorter arms is not going to be Shakur. You cooked. That footwork, the boxing skills will be put on you. TLM, I'm throwing rolling punches. Meh, meh, meh. Pugilism, Norfolk. Oh, man, you're still talking about Keyshawn. We moved on from Keyshawn, my guy. Muscamayo, he might need a good year off. It's been tough. It's been tough for Lamar Roach. Like I told you, man, based on these last 3 fights, I'm wondering if we're going to see Lamar Roach, the best version of himself, or if that's it. Was his last big performance against Tank Davis, and it's downhill from here. It's been downhill since he fought with Tank. COE Films. Foster will look average as hell. Shaq knows that. He'd rather lose to a GOAT. You see, there you go. He's going to get a career payday and an ass whooping. He's not beating Shakur. TLM, Roach should rest and Yeah, man. I think he should take a little bit of time. Not, you can't take too much time off. It's not like, take 2 years off or something like that. But you could take a year off, or you could wait, schedule your next fight for like 10 months from now or something like that. And just take some time. Take some time to heal your body and come back feeling rejuvenated. It's been a tough stretch for Lamar Roach. He hasn't won in 3 consecutive fights, 2 draws in a row. Now he took a loss. Yeah, I think he needs some time. 2 left hooks. Had a war with Pitbull as well. War with Pitbull, war with Zepeda, war with Tank Davis. That was a war too. Agent 17, Roach looked good versus Tank. But then they gave him two aggressive Mexicans who like to smother you. I think it comes down to styles. Lamar needs to rest, get time in the gym, and find a new opponent. There you go. And that's another thing, man. Like, in some cases and for some fighters, they pick their opponents strategically to assure that W. Pitbull is not a strategic opponent. Zepeda is not a strategic opponent. You know, they could have, should have got him some different fights. Me, after he had that draw with Pitbull Cruz, I wouldn't have put him in there with another Mexican who throw a million punches per round. I would have put him in there with, even with a B-level fighter. I would have got him a nice little cherry pick. Win that fight, look good, look explosive, gain your confidence, and then we go after this fight. TLM, Foster can become bigger from the loss. He's a good boxer. I agree with you. I think Shakur schools him, and he uses that to become a better boxer. Zepeda did. Zepeda look way different now. Now you see him using angles. You see him using footwork, because he understands a dude like that's going to cook me. You're not trying to be out there getting smoked. Masbello, that Mexican style is difficult. Got to be a special fighter to beat that. You see? So it's Shakur Stevenson. And that's the thing. Shakur, he made real good fighters look average. I've said it since yesterday. Since yesterday. Why people don't look at this fight and say, damn, Shakur is really the real deal. Like, this guy made Zepeda look like a Taco Bell chalupa maker. And look, Zepeda put the beats on Lamar Roach. Beat him up. There's no questions. There's nobody out there saying, oh, Lamar Roach got robbed, or Zepeda shouldn't have got that win. Zepeda beat him up, no questions asked. And Shakur made Zepeda look easy. Now, I'm going to show you how people don't like to keep the same energy. Where's the people that say, yo, Tank Davis' resume is aging well because Pitbull became a champion after Tank beat him, and Ryan became a champion after Tank beat him, or Rollies became a champion, so his resume is aging well. Oscar Valdez became a champion again after Shakur beat him. Robson Conceição became a champion after Shakur beat him. And now we're watching William Zepeda become a champion after Shakur beat him. Where's that same energy? Imagine that. Where's the people that say Shakur don't fight nobody, ain't beat nobody? That's 3 people that he beat that became world champions after he beat him. Add Teofimo Lopez in that mix, who was his last win, moving up to 140, making his debut in the 140 division, beat Teofimo Lopez. So when you look at Shakur's resume, I want to see the people that say he ain't fight nobody, beat multiple reigning world champions, beat multiple guys who became world champions after he beat them. Yo, just like 6 months ago, Zepeda was a nobody. Y'all remember after Shakur beat him? Yeah, but he a nobody. He a nobody. He ain't done nothing. Beat the shit out of Lamar Roach. How you going to say that Zepeda's a nobody now? Because that's the thing about Shakur Stevenson. He's a nobody maker. He'll make you a nobody. It's not that you're a nobody. It's that people hate Shakur so much that in order to not give him his flowers, they diminish his opponents. How you gonna say Zepeda's a nobody now after what he did to Lamar Roach? Masbello, I just want Shakur to shut these dudes up. I mean, he trying to shut these dudes up. Look what he did to Teofimo Lopez. Did him in and made him look like a bus driver, bro. Teofimo looked like he a bus driver on his lunch break who went and fight Shakur and then had to go back to work to drive his bus 2 left hooks. Shakur gained my respect after Oscar Valdez fight. Brutal beating and made Oscar Valdez look easy. Made Valdez look like a goofball. Alex Alberto. I will pick Abdullah to beat Zepeda this fall. Abdullah expressed interest in that fight. Expressed interest and say, but he will be easy work for me. TLM. Credit to Tio. He didn't have to take that fight. Of course. But Teofimo Lopez been showing us that he about that smoke. He already been in there with Lomachenko. And he already been in with other fighters that you're like, oh shit, yeah, he for real. So you gotta give him his flowers. You gotta give Teofimo Lopez credit. I think they put him in the door to be a big star. But I think that fight with Pitbull broke him. That draw just means almost. And now after Zepeda, just installed doubt. That's the thing, bro. Lamont Roach is in a tough space right now in his career. 3 fights in a row without a win. This is a guy that was a world champion. A world champion at 130. And all of a sudden, you're not winning fights. Must Mayo Abdullah would have to get the KO to beat Zepeda. I mean, that's a tough fight. That's a very tough fight. I think that fight plays out similar to Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. You know, Abdullah had to dig deep to get that W. I think it plays out in similar fashion. Agent 17, Shakur reminds me a lot of Crawford. Big Skull, you think Tank will fight Zepeda? Will he fight it? I mean, we don't know what Tank is going to do. Supposedly, Tank is going to be unavailable until next year. So I guess Tank ain't going to be fighting nobody anytime soon. Agent 17, not stylistically, but how people view them. Alex Alberto, I just saw Boxing Scene. It's reporting that Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua in New York. I might go. Dana White got it. Ooh. In New York City. Whoa. That's going to be big. I'm assuming they're going to do it in Madison Square Garden. But honestly, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Because this fight, I would have expected it to go down in the UK. Let's see. Let's see, bro. I'm having a hard time believing that. TLM, I doubt it. That has Wembley written all over it. Yeah, man, I can't picture that fight. That's automatically the biggest fight in UK history. It's not going to be the biggest fight in New York history. Jay Peso, why did Keyshawn back out of the Haney fight? Supposedly, he wanted more money. Or that's what's being reported. He wanted more money. Keyshawn Davis, I'm sorry, I said it, man. He can't be the businessman anymore. He didn't do the right business. And you know why I'm telling you Keyshawn Davis didn't do the right business? Because me, from this little studio, from my little studio in the Dominican Republic, I knew he wasn't going to get more than $3 million, bro. I told you guys. When he turned down the $3 million and they was headed for purse bid, I told you guys, like, yo, you're not going to get more than $3 million. You're going to get less. Now you're going to have to take less money. So the moment they turned down that offer, they was cooked. If you wanted more money, you was cooked because the purse bid was not going to get you more money. Here we are now. He bet, I guess he bet on himself. He bet wrong that time. You can't bet on yourself every time. He shouldn't have bet on himself and took the $3 million. Must Mayo, that's too big of a risk for Tank. And you know what? If you think about it, with the inactivity that Tank Davis is experiencing, when he comes back, it's perfectly reasonable for Tank to get a tune-up. He should get a tune-up and not just go straight to a big fight. Out. Alex Alberto, Boxing Scene is reporting it right now. Are they reporting that the fight is a done deal in New York, or that they trying to make it in New York? That's crazy. I still can't believe it. I'm giving you some pushback, bro, because I can't believe that two guys from the UK, the biggest fight from the UK, is gonna go down in New York. That's crazy. Must Mayo, Zepeda just destroyed the man Tank struggled with. Tank does have the power to KO Zepeda, though. Yes, he got the power to KO Zepeda, and Zepeda get hit a lot. The thing is that Roach didn't have the power to either stop or hurt Zepeda. But Roach was catching him with some big shots. Zepeda was eating them shits like they was burritos and tacos. Soft shell tacos. Daisy Sanchez. That should be the way to go. UK at least 80K. In New York, 20K. It's going to be a way smaller venue. Why would you do it in New York? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Reza, bam, salute family. Must Mayo, I agree. A tune-up first. Come on, you don't... Look at Arrow. Arrow don't do tune-ups. Came back to Tim Zoo, got battered. After 3 years of inactivity, Arrow should have came back against a C-level fighter that he was going to knock out in 3 rounds and look real good, gain his confidence. Came back against Timmy. And Arrow put up a good fight early on. The first 4 or 5 rounds versus Tim Zoo, let me even say the first 6 rounds, it was competitive. It was a good fight. But Timmy started to break Arrow down, and we see how the fight ended up playing out. Agent 17, they say MSG is possible, but a last resort. Okay. Black August, bam. Salute, family. Appreciate you dropping in. Must Mayo. Tank didn't dominate Pitbull, though. Pitbull was giving him problems, but Tank was fighting him with one hand. And I was going to say that. Something out Must Mayo, when Tank and Pitbull fought, I was calling that fight live, and I told people when it happened, I think he hurt his hand in the 3rd or the 4th round, I'm sure. And when he hurt himself, he actually went, he actually made a noise. And I said, yo, he hurt his hand. He hurt his hand. And people in the comments were saying, nah, Jay, you bugging. I was like, nah, he's hurt. And from that point on, you saw Tank Davis fighting Pitbull mostly with one hand. And he walked out of there with the W. He did what he had to do. TLM, oh shit, Jay, Netflix wants it in the Garden, NYC. Ooh, you see? That could be the difference. If Netflix wants it in the Garden, and you know the type of money that they're gonna put up, it might happen in New York. I could not have envisioned it. 2 UK fighters, 2 of the biggest names in UK history. 2 of the guys that made the most money in UK. Fighting in New York. Oh, well, UK fans are going to be mad as hell. If they announce that this fight is happening in New York, UK fans are going to be pissed. Daisy Sanchez, high tax cut in New York. Fighters must be crazy to fight there, man. Damn near half of your check going for taxes. Jay Peso, Tank is going to look totally different with the Benavides camp. 8-17. Boxing Scene just said MSG or Lo-Fi Stadium in LA are possible locations. Alex Alberto, that's an American. I like that we could possibly take that fight from the UK. Damn, you want to do the UK end with that one. Agent 17, due to involvement from Zuffa and Dana. Agent Sanchez, I hope UK fans boycott the fight. Now, they're not going to boycott it, man. Look, I got respect for UK fans because they back their guys like crazy. You know what's going to happen? You're going to have planes and planes flying from the UK. Whether it's an MSG or it's an LA, UK fans are going to show up to support their guys. You're going to see a bunch of UK fans in the crowd. Eye for eye. It's not going to be too many fighters want to get in the ring. Tank for a tune-up. No. I want you to look at the other side of that coin. There's going to be some fighters that, for that payday, for that career payday, for that first $1 million check, they're going to step in there with Tank. Get him a B-level fighter so he could look spectacular. Get him a little gatekeeper. Get him someone who we know, but we also know he's going to whoop him. Something like that. Eye for eye. When they asked for the rematch, That's why Tank said, hell no. Age is 17. If the money's right, it's a good fight. TLM, we forgetting how many fans Fury and AJ got here too. It's gonna sell out without a doubt. Oh yeah. Look, whether it happens in New York, in LA, they're gonna sell out the venue. But I promise you, a lot of UK fans will be going to the UK for that fight. You're gonna see a whole section, a crowd of UK fans. The ones that supporting Fury, the ones that supporting AJ. They're gonna be in full force. UK fans travel for their fighters. They go everywhere. They could be fighting in Australia, they could be fighting in Africa. You're gonna see the UK fans in the building. That's why I got mad respect for them. TLM, UKYC. My peoples, I'm about to end this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I hope you guys enjoyed Monday's edition. Salute to everybody who tuned in. By the way, I will be live. I know a lot of you guys are not members of the channel yet, but I hope that I give you enough great content so when you do want to become a member. The members only live will go down tonight, my peoples. A members only live. We're gonna talk about boxing, but we're gonna talk a little bit more about the technical aspect of the sweet science. I hope you guys tune in. If you're a member of the channel already, make sure you tune in tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The members live only is gonna be crazy. My people, salute to everybody who tuned in to this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Ages 17, 2 levels, TLM, JJ's in there, Eye for Eye, Daisy Sanchez was in the building, Pugilism was in the building, Musk Mayo, salute family. Renzo, appreciate you dropping in, my brother, and everybody else who tuned in, my peoples. You guys know we do this for the love of the sweet science. Mondays through Fridays, Boxing for Breakfast is for you, and it's for me, because I love the show, right? I love to do what I do. Noble Young, bam, salute family. Remember, my peoples, 8 p.m. tonight, members only live. It's going to be crazy. Something new, something special from Jay Smith. I'm signing off, fellas. Happy Monday. Enjoy your day. Let's go get this money. Peace.